Hey, welcome to Madhouse Magazine Radio Hour. Today we are doing Tapestry by Carole King. And does anyone, we got a lot of trivia going on here. Does anyone know what her real name is?
Klein?
Exactly.
Wow. I was going to say
Carole
something
Klein?
It
Jewish.
was, Carole Klinghoffer.
Really?
Does anybody know who that is? Leon Klinghoffer?
Wait, that's
That-
not really her
I know
name.
that
No,
name.
her name was Carole Klein.
Oh, why are you
but I
confusing
digress
me?
now
Okay.
because it made me think of Leon Klinghoffer. And this
Okay.
was a very big story during the 70s that somehow he was thrown off a boat and killed. It was like a cruise ship. And like terrorists took over the boat and he was in a wheelchair and they threw him over because he was Jewish. And it was a big thing during the 70s.
Wow.
Leon
yeah.
Klinghoffer.
I totally remember
Yes.
that. Yes.
Look that up.
Did he survive?
No, he died.
Oh, poor
He,
Leon.
as we were just discussing before, when you hit water, for somehow you don't go right in.
But what if
it
you're in a wheelchair?
crushes
I
you.
would assume it's
Nothing.
different.
Well, he probably drowned then.
Did they drew? He was in the wheelchair when they drew him off the boat?
Yeah, they threw the whole wheelchair
How
on
mean
him
is
right
that?
off.
That's
So,
ridiculous.
Yep, that was something.
How would you see
Wow.
the guy
I do
can't
remember
swim?
that in the
See?
70s.
See what a memory I have that
Yeah.
I'm able to
Wow,
remember
Dennis,
the name Leon
impressed.
Klinghoffer.
Yeah.
And I think it had something to do with the raid on Entebbe that happened.
Wow. I don't even know what that
I
is.
am Edie Vidi Amin.
Wow.
See, I'm just making ridiculous references.
saying things
I don't
from the
even know
70s.
what show are we up to now here. All right,
right,
so
come
yes,
on.
we're doing Tapestry by Carole King, one of the greatest albums ever recorded, no doubt about it. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about before we get in there because the Oscars just happened and there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of controversy. Gina was watching the Oscars,
Yes, I
glued to her
was.
seat. I, on the other hand, I've decided that I'm removing myself from society slowly. So, and one way by doing that is I vow I will never watch another award show as long as I live.
Last year, didn't
Really?
you protest
Oh, you're
the
one of
Oscars
those.
last
Here
year?
Yes,
we
I
are.
was protesting
Yeah.
last year. This
Yeah.
time,
One of those.
and eventually I'm going to stop going to concerts.
Wow.
That's my only association with
With the outside world?
Yes,
With the
it's
entertainment room?
concerts. Yes,
Can
So-
I get an amen?
But that's going to be many, many years
Oh.
after the final rock star dies. Then
Oh.
I'm no longer going
Oh,
to
okay.
concerts.
Okay. It may sound like it's next week.
So
I'm
after
getting
Keith
excited.
Richards passes away in the year 2057, then, although,
Right.
did you hear he stopped smoking and drinking now,
No.
and the stocks have plummeted? Madhouse Magazine reported that story. That he
I
did.
didn't see
He
this
really
idea.
stopped smoking and
Wow.
drinking.
Right.
Stopped smoking
Well,
cigarettes.
Did he stop completely?
Well, he's gonna
or-
cut down.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
It's
that's
hard
a
to
lot.
stop.
Yeah. So So immediately Wall Street crashed, stock market crashed. It's a big thing. People are jumping out windows. Very shocking. So yeah, let's get back to the Oscars because there was a controversy. So let's talk about that first. All right, let's talk about Spike Lee. So Spike Lee has never won an Oscar before. And we were just discussing that, and I believe his best movie was Do the Right Thing, and he should have won an Oscar for that. But you know what movie beat him out? Driving Miss Daisy, which I thought was a terrible movie. I actually happened to see that, and I fell asleep in the theater. I think I was with you.
Yeah,
You made
we
me go
were-
see this.
No, don't say
Because
that.
it was a school project or something.
We did see it together.
Right, and I was sleeping. And that's like one of the first times
And
I ever fell asleep
I was
in a
going
movie.
to say, because I always
Yeah,
do.
she always falls asleep. But that was a bad movie, and he got
That was
chipped.
that bad,
So
huh?
now, ever since then, every time he's up for an Oscar, he's all upset. And this year was no different.
Yes.
So, so he went crazy because he lost to, his movie is Black Klansman. I did
Right.
not see that.
No.
And it was up against a bunch of movies, of course.
Green
But
Book.
the movie that won was Green Book, as you say. And once again, it's about someone driving someone around.
Yes.
And he went berserk. And people don't know this, but I'm going to actually expose something here. Because did you also hear Remy Malek, who won for Best Actor for Night at the Opera? Bohemian Rhapsody. He won for Bohemian Rhapsody. He played Freddie Mercury, right? So did you hear that he fell off the stage?
Yes.
Did you
I
see
did
that picture?
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
see
So
that.
he
I
was.
heard that.
Whatever happened, he fell off the stage, but they quickly covered it up, as Madhouse has discovered. Because you know what happened, Cha-Cha?
What happened?
What happened? An angry Spike Lee shoved Oscar winner Remy Malek off the stage. Spike Lee was furious that Green Book, was it Brook or Book?
No, book.
Green
Book.
Book. What does that even mean? About
think
people
we have
driving
seen it.
around. All right, well, we'll talk about that later. So Spike Lee was furious that Green Book won Best Picture and his movie Black Klansman did not. Lee, who has never won an Oscar, was so angry that Green Book won, he was running around backstage screaming, "I wouldn't wipe my butt with Green Book." But then he did. He actually ripped pages out of the Green Book and started wiping his butt with it and chasing the actors around. So then later on, when Remy Malek won for Best Actor, Spike Lee lost his mind and ran onto the stage and shoved Remy Malek right off the stage. Some observers say Lee was screaming anti-immigrant slurs and threatening to call ICE on Malek. Lee then lifted his leg like a dog and peed on the podium.
Oh my goodness.
Malek was checked at the scene by paramedics and was apparently uninjured. Lee fled the scene, and the whole incident was covered up by the Academy, but Madhouse uncovered it. Academy spokesperson Herb Ostenkamp said, apparently Mr. Malek slipped on Spike Lee's urine, but Mr. Lee did not push him. Spike Lee was detained and put in a chokehold by LAPD. That is a reference to Do the Right Thing at the very end of the movie, you see. So there you have it. You can try to cover this up, Academy, but we are here to expose this kind of behavior, shocking behavior. Oh, and they actually did give Spike a Academy Award this year. Did you? He won for Best Key Grip. Did you see that?
No,
He's figured to give him something to shut him up.
Win best director.
Best something. No, it was not.
Best
Definitely not best
producer,
director.
Something for his movie. It was
Yeah,
best.
it was Best Key Grip. I'll look it up. So
I know
anyway,
he won.
now let's talk about the rest of the Oscars because there was a whole bunch going on. So Gina, the talk of the night was the Lady Gaga and what's his name song.
Bradley Cooper.
Shallow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that won Best Song, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course. So tell us, what did you think of this performance that they did? There was a lot of discussion about it.
Yeah, it's like
I missed it. I didn't see it. So
You
tell
didn't
me what
see it.
happened.
That's right. You boycotted.
I
Yeah.
saw it though.
What did you think?
It made me feel a little weird.
A little uncomfortable.
Because that's the controversy. I
like,
heard. What happened? Were they making
just
out?
seemed
Because it's like
they have such a chemistry together.
Yeah.
From the movie to this performance, I mean, everybody's swearing that she's madly in love with him and that she broke up her engagement.
oh,
so
because yes, I
that
did
she
hear
can
that.
Free
Oh.
herself to maybe, be rescued by him or whatever. He is happily with his girlfriend. They have a 2-year-old.
Oh, his girlfriend. He's not married.
No. He's with his girlfriend, the mother of his 2-year-old.
Ooh.
They're actors.
Better put a ring on
They
it,
are
sister.
but
That's
guys,
true. You're
they're
right, you're right,
actors.
you're
They're
right.
very convincing.
Yes, and
Exactly.
yeah.
But America is rooting for these two to be together because the chemistry is unreal. Their
Yeah.
performance on stage, it was like nobody else was in the room but the two of them.
Yeah, I think it was pretty
When
good.
he went over to her
Oh, my
and
God.
sat down, I
Oh,
was
my
like,
God.
oh, I happen to know that he has a date there. I thought that was his
Oh,
wife.
was she in the
She
audience
was there.
watching?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was there.
Ooh.
I'm going to go
gets
on
even
record
bigger,
saying
fellow.
that
I
if
think I
that
heard they were
was
making out.
me,
You cut,
I
you
would've-
cut that relationship.
I
my
would
God.
have rushed
I'm
the
not kidding.
All right, I'm going out on a limb here, but I'm guessing
Yeah.
his girlfriend is not Italian. Because
Wait a minute.
if she was Italian,
Italian
she would've been-
woman.
or Puerto
An
Rican,
Italian- yeah.
or
Yeah.
Russian,
Yeah.
she would have been on that
A
stage,
woman scorned,
cutting
right?
him with a knife.
If I were her, I'd be cutting that relationship off with Gaga
right,
in
right,
a heartbeat.
right at the knees. If the wars
But
are
again,
over, it's over. It's
Remember,
done.
they're actors.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's my
Yeah,
defense.
I get
for
that.
them.
Yeah, I get it.
Think of
But
that.
it was
Very,
kind
very
of
convincing.
I know. I don't know. Yeah,
Did they,
maybe
like,
we're
keep-
reading too much into it.
Did they keep flashing to the girlfriend in the audience?
No.
And she
No.
was
I
didn't
sobbing.
notice that.
They didn't take their eyes, the camera off of. I mean, it was a great performance.
And everyone went crazy afterwards.
Yeah, standing
Yeah, yeah,
ovation.
I
Standing
Two
ovation,
standing
two standing
Two
ovations.
standing
Yes.
ovations. How is that possible?
You know what?
One, two.
And you know what? Really, I
did it again.
They got tired, so they sat down.
I mean,
They're
Gaga's
exhausted.
the ultimate. She's my female
Yes.
Elton. She's the ultimate.
She's-
The kid is
She's
just
cool.
her
She's got
performances, her concerts. I've been to them. She's great.
She's great.
I got a little upset for him because people are trashing on him. I'm like, no, he's not a singer. He's not Freddie Mercury, but he
Yeah.
can sing.
He just
can carry a tune.
He just a week before the movie, he learned to play the guitar,
Yeah.
wrote that
Yeah,
song,
I
and
heard
learned to
that,
sing.
right. He never sang a
so,
day in his
Well, she
life
wrote
until.
I think that's pretty good.
I
yeah,
heard
she
that.
whatever.
she wrote the song with 3 other guys.
Yeah.
Right, they all got the.
Very
Well,
nice,
he
though.
learned
That
how
was
to
good.
play it
I
on the
would say that
guitar.
was good.
That's the thing.
I mean, I think
I
he's
give him
incredible.
I love him.
And he's eye candy.
He's
I mean,
yes.
damn.
I mean, right.
He's no David Cassidy.
No,
No,
nobody.
but
no.
he's
awesome,
up
though. I
there.
like
He's
him.
very good looking. Don't take that from him.
I didn't
But-
take it.
Don't
Bella,
you
what are
dare.
you trying to take
I-
from
I'm not
take from the
taking that.
poor man?
He was awesome in
I
The
don't know.
Hangover.
What do you
That
think,
was the
Bella?
greatest.
Yes.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's attractive and funny.
So yeah, he was great, and he's really fun at parties too.
Yes,
So
Remember when they stole Tyson's tiger?
yeah, the
Yeah,
best
that's
movies
the
when he
best.
was awesome in Hangovers.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
so I don't know what else he's been in, but
He was in that movie with Jennifer Lawrence.
oh
remember?
yeah. I forget
something
what that is.
Playbook?
Silver Linings was
Yeah,
good.
that's
Yeah, that was
and
a
then
good
they
one.
were in another movie
Silver Linings
together,
Playbook, right?
like a mafia type movie. All right. So anyway, that's the
Oh,
Oscars.
yeah.
Did anything else
stuff.
exciting happen? Did
That's
anyone
our
streak
coverage.
on there
Oh,
or
No
anything like
streak.
that?
In the 70s, we streakers at
And
the Oscars.
were you shocked by anybody who won or lost anything? Did you see any of these movies first of all, besides
That's a good
Gaga
question.
movie?
Yeah, we saw Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh.
Did you
That's
see?
all I saw.
Yeah, nobody
Those
saw
two.
those other ones
I
because
didn't
there's a
see
movie
the others.
Fun.
like Roma or something.
No.
No, I heard that's really
Boring.
weird.
Black and white.
No.
Forget that.
I heard Green Book was really good.
Yeah,
so this
yeah,
is what
I'd
the
like
Green
to
Book
see
was.
that.
Yeah, I
This is
did
my
hear
friend
that
told
was
me.
really
The
good.
Green
We'll see
Book
it.
was back in those days.
right.
Like a book where you would find out, like if you were a black dude, that you could go in this restaurant or that
Okay.
restaurant. That's what I think.
Why was it called the Green
Book?
Book, not the Black Book
I
or
don't know.
something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah, kind of weird.
Yeah. All right, so you learned something new.
Yes,
every
that's.
time.
I don't know if that's true, but that's what I.
I think I heard that too, though.
So
About the book.
anyway, we have a tribute we must get to now before we play some music. Of course, Peter Talk of the Monkees died this week. Very sad.
Very sad.
Another icon of our childhood. Who could forget Peter Talk? He was just such a nice guy. He seemed like he was always smiling
Yeah.
on the
Yes.
Monkees, always goofy and making jokes. And
He had great hair.
Great
Yes.
hair.
Great hair.
Right?
Yeah,
Totally.
Yeah.
all right, so are you guys ready for some
love it.
Peter Talk trivia here?
Sure.
All
Go
right.
for it.
Who told him to go to the audition? What famous musician
Oh,
was
I know.
rejected? Go, Bello.
Graham Nash or
Close.
Was it Crosby?
Close.
I just read it the other
Young?
day too.
Close.
One of them.
There's one more option.
Steven Still.
Steven Still.
Steven Stills. I knew it was
So-
that
Forget
good.
about him.
We were
Yeah,
close.
good.
So Steven Stills went down there. They were auditioning
Yes.
for this show, and they told him, "No, you can't be in it because you have bad teeth." So
Yes.
he went home and he
I read that.
And then he told Peter.
and he said, "Peter, you got good teeth.
Oh,
Why don't you
nice.
go down there?" And the rest is history.
Yeah.
Of course, the
Wow,
Monkees
that's great.
were only on 2 seasons, and then just God knows what was happening with them after that. They were performing concerts
Yeah.
till this
Yeah,
day. We
right.
were lucky enough to see them
Yes,
last
we
time they
were.
were around.
Hey, did
And-
we do a monkey show?
Oh yeah,
you?
we did a couple.
You
monkey
did a couple
shows.
monkey shows.
Yeah, yeah.
First album I ever had.
Yeah, we might have to do another one now.
Yeah.
But
Awesome.
yeah, we were lucky enough to see him. Got some good pictures. He
Yeah.
was a very nice guy.
Awesome.
But then I just realized that this year when I saw a concert announcement for the Monkees with Nesmith and Dolenz
Yes,
and no
which is
Peter Talk,
weird.
and I said, "Hey, wait a minute. Nesmith is always the one who's a pain in the
Right.
neck,
Yes.
Right.
but
Right.
Talk is always there."
Right.
And then like 2 days later, he was dead.
Oh, that's what
So
it was. 'cause
he had
was
some
sick.
rare
Damn it.
form of tongue cancer or
Adrenal,
something.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
very
something's tongue.
sad. So
Tongue cancer.
yep. Well,
Awful.
they should have a Monkees marathon coming up soon.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be
Yes.
good.
So
But that show really was unwatchable.
oh.
if you think about
Now-
it.
now if you
Like
watch it
now,
now,
if
it
you watch
is
it now,
kinda-
I can't.
But
sit
growing
there.
up, it was
Yeah.
a lot of people's
Right.
first entrance into rock and
Yes.
roll.
It's true.
And it was just
The
so
bed
funny.
on the
and-
beach. I always remember the bed on the
And
beach.
the
Yep.
music
Oh,
was
yeah.
so
Yeah.
good.
Right.
The music was
Yeah,
great.
the songs. Come
Yeah.
on.
It's just they had the best songwriters in the world, featuring Carole King even.
Yeah.
She wrote the
Yep.
song. We'll talk about that later.
I know that one.
You want to take a guess as to which song she wrote?
I know it.
Tell us.
Pleasant Valley Sunday.
Very good.
Nice.
All right, we'll
remember
talk
that.
about that as we go.
Awesome.
And there's one thing I wanted to talk about before we end up on the Oscars here. Let's talk about Carol Channing, how they blew her off in the tribute portion. They
did.
I
No,
watched. I
was
rewound that and
reading
watched
all
it.
about it.
I didn't see it.
She
You're
was
right.
not there.
People that passed. Yeah.
Laverne was there. There was a lot
yeah,
of
of
people.
course. Burt Reynolds is what I
There was
heard.
Key Grips. There was
Exactly.
I guess because she was more Broadway.
But it doesn't matter. She was in the movie. She was nominated for an Oscar.
True.
And if it wasn't for Barbara Streisand stealing her role, she would have
wow.
gotten that too. So I don't know. People are up in arms about this.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah.
But I did see it, and I didn't see her in it. So
Well, when did she pass?
She passed plenty of times.
No. Listen, did she die in 2019 or 2018?
yeah,
Because-
that's what it is.
I think
They-
it's everyone that dies before the Oscars.
Oh, I don't know.
From the past Oscars to this
You
Oscars.
better check your source.
Well, everyone is up in arms. It's not just me. That
Well,
actually,
why do I remember saying
listen to
that?
this. I am friends with Carole Channing's agent. I really am.
Oh,
Oh God.
is that
No,
true?
because he's agents with a lot of other people that I deal with and
Oh,
stuff. And he just because he was like Rosemary's agent
Oh,
too.
wow.
He's like everybody over 90 agent.
How old is this?
So no,
was just gonna
no,
say.
he's a young gay guy.
Oh,
and
so
he's,
fun. Can you
And
say
he
that?
took over. He
I'm
took
pretty
over
sure
that
I'm
crowd.
not going to be friends with him after this airs.
What? That's-
Yes.
No.
So he went on a whole tirade saying
He handles Rosie Greer,
that
too.
yes,
I know you're talking about.
Rosie Greer.
and then he went on a tirade saying everyone's up in arms. How dare they, Miss
Wow.
Channing, and blah blah blah. Blah. So
goodness.
I demand an apology from the Academy.
From the Academy.
Yes. So all right.
Maybe
just
I
felt-
saw her on the Emmys.
Maybe that was our show you were watching.
No,
when we did a tribute to her.
No, I was
it was
watching
Bello.
something.
It was Bello
See, I
doing
was
his
spot on
That's
my
right. He did his
impression.
imitation.
That's crazy.
Do it again. Do it again.
Yeah, do it one more time for the road, Bello. Diamonds.
Oh yeah. I don't mean rhinestones, diamonds of a girl's best friend. That's it.
That's a
Oh,
classic.
that's never gonna get old.
See now, how awesome would that have been if they did a tribute and Bello came out
Yes.
dressed up
Well,
like
one of those-
Carol Channing,
those things she
like a
used to
big
wear.
mane.
Oh, I gotta
boa,
take
yeah.
him
Oh, the
into
boa
the
with
village
that,
with
yeah.
Oh
me.
my
Oh
God.
my
No,
God!
no.
Halloween,
I
Bella,
was
we're
just
doing
thinking
it.
Halloween.
We're doing it.
All right, Bello. So you want to take us out with a joke before we
yes,
play some
yes.
music? Give us a joke here.
Penguin walks into a bar and he says to the bartender, "Has my brother been in here?" And the bartender says, "I don't know. What's he look like?" That's the joke. See, all penguins look the same.
yeah, you get it. All
Get
penguins
it.
look alike.
Yeah,
So it's
it's
very
great.
offensive to penguins. So I hope we don't get any.
Hope we don't get any phone
angry
calls. Animal
letters to
activists.
this.
Yes.
All right, so now it's time to play some music, Carole King music, and of course Bello's favorite. We're going to play "I Feel the Earth Move" off of Tapestry, and then we're going to play "Where You Lead, I Will Follow." And we'll be right back. Madhouse Magazine Radio Hour, madhousemagazine.com, 474 The Mix. Hey, welcome back. Madhouse Magazine Radio Hour. You just heard "I Feel the Earth Move" by Carole King and "Where You Lead," also by Carole King, off of Tapestry. Did you know that was Bello's wedding song? Either one would be funny, really.
That was cruel when we were kids. We would sing that when a heavy girl would walk by.
What?
I feel the earth. That was like the joke in 1976.
When a fat girl walked by.
Yeah, not very
That
nice.
is so
Wow,
wrong.
that's bad.
It's
Bello.
terrible.
So,
Bastard.
so what else I wanted to talk about before we get into Carole King? That there was this story. There's a true story. This man killed a cougar with his bare hands.
Oh my God,
Did you
I
hear
saw
about
it
this?
on the news.
He
I
was
saw it.
jogging
It was awesome.
in like Colorado or something, or
Yes, it was
California,
Colorado.
in the mountains there. And a cougar jumped on him, or a mountain lion.
It was a mountain lion.
Yeah,
That's
it was
what
a
they
mountain
said on
lion.
that.
It was a mountain
Yeah.
lion jumped
Yeah.
on him,
I saw
and
that.
he wrestled it to the ground like Tarzan, and he ended up killing the cougar.
Wow.
He held his mouth
But-
open. Till
Yeah,
he stopped
yeah.
moving. That's
He
what he
was,
said.
yeah, I guess he was fighting him off.
Yeah, he was all
right?
covered in
Saving
Right.
funds.
blood
But-
and everything.
So
This just in, it turns out he actually paid the cougar to attack him. It wasn't
Oh,
It was a
okay.
setup.
Now, a lot of that's going on.
Sounds like, yeah.
A lot of that's going on nowadays.
you get it?
I got it.
So,
I thought
But
you were
wait,
serious.
the rest
no, the
of
first
it
one I'm
too?
serious.
Oh,
He did.
see,
Yes,
I
that,
know.
did.
that, right.
He did.
That I saw.
That it was
Well,
a
That's
meeting.
survival of the fittest.
It was, of
for
course,
sure.
it was like a teenage mountain lion, and he was practicing hunting. So he saw this thing moving, so he tried to jump on it, and still, it was like 80 pounds. If it was a full-grown
Wow.
mountain lion, it would have eaten him in no
Yeah.
no problem.
see.
Well, he was
Yeah.
very
But-
lucky.
Yeah. He was all bleeding and,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
He was funny,
Absolutely.
too. He had some jokes up there.
Oh, did he? See,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you could see him setting this up to become
Yes,
famous.
I can't believe
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
see, that's another thing. Remember last week, last show, we were talking about people who don't grow up in cold weather are weak. So now I may have to retract that statement because, as you see, if you're on a nice stroll, you could be attacked by a mountain lion in
Yes,
California.
right, yeah.
There's if you're in Florida, you walk to school and you're chased by alligators everywhere
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
true.
And
That's true.
True.
yeah,
We
there's
don't have
snakes,
that.
there's
Right.
all these rattlesnakes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess they have their adversity over there in
So, yes,
those
there's
warm
different things.
states
Yeah,
still.
that's true.
I kind of actually think now I'd rather walk to school in the snow than being
Yes,
chased by an alligator.
absolutely.
Then run to school. You chase that out. Yeah.
It's true.
Staying in the
It's true.
Northeast.
At least-
That's
right.
it. Yeah, and they got the fires
I'm
out
gonna-
there.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
got mudslides.
Oh, that's
You
right.
know.
know?
It's a hellhole.
Yeah, exactly. We're
Stay
much better
right
off
where
with
we
the
are.
snow and the
Yeah.
cold.
Oh, that
So,
reminds me of this. I thought of a great name for your new band.
what?
Jussie Smollett and the Nigerians. Would that be awesome, right? No one's using that right now.
No,
That would be
they're
hilarious
not.
and
That's
perfect.
Hilarious.
Oh,
That's
speaking of that, you know
hilarious.
that Webster has now declared
Oh.
that it is like a verb or an adjective now. So if
Smollett?
anytime you try to scam somebody, it's called, oh, don't you try and smile at me, Bello.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
so-
That's something
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
New edition.
Yeah, we could use that anytime.
I didn't
You
even
pulled
know
a
that.
Smollett.
He was arrested. The man was arrested for smiling his neighbor.
Oh my God.
All right. So now let's get to the album now. This album is Tapestry. Definitely one of the best albums. Cha-cha. This is now the serious portion of the show. There's no more laughing aloud.
Please, let's get to
Good
this portion.
luck.
Look at this. Tapestry, Carole King. All right. You want to talk about the album first or you want to talk about Carole King first? Let's talk about the album first. That's what we usually do. All right. So this was Carole King's second studio album. It is one of the best-selling albums of all time with over 25 million copies sold worldwide. It has been certified diamond in the U.S. That means it sold a lot. You know how many Grammy Awards she won in 1972? 4.
Wow.
Count them, 4, including Album of the Year. And the lead singles from the album, It's Too Late, backed with I Feel the Earth Move. Now, what kind of single is that? Can you imagine that? You buy a single and you say, oh, look,
wow.
I got
Both
It's
sides.
Too Late
B-side.
on side A. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let me turn it over and see what crap's on the other side.
Right.
And bam, it's I Feel the Earth
B-side.
Move.
Wow,
The B-side is better than most people's A-side.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how you go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So this single spent 5 weeks at number 1 on both Billboard 100 and the Easy Listening charts.
Wow.
And in 2003, Tapestry was ranked number 36 on Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest albums of all time.
Impressive.
You know what number 35 was, Bello? Disco Duck.
I was just gonna say,
Jeez,
just
of
gonna
course.
say.
It's one of Bello's favorites.
Great tease. Wow.
Yeah. So
was
Tapestry
good.
was number 1. The album itself now, Cha-Cha, it was number 1 on the charts for 15 consecutive weeks.
Wow.
And held the record for most weeks at number 1 by a female solo artist for over 20 years until it was surpassed by... Does
Disco
anybody
Duck?
know? No,
Oh.
it's not.
20,
It's female solo, so it's got to be a
Oh,
female,
Female
solo.
solo.
Beyonce.
Nope, Whitney Houston, the Bodyguard
Oh.
soundtrack.
Ooh.
Yes,
Hello.
Oh wow, Bodyguard.
the soundtrack. They're
The
talking about the
soundtrack,
album.
which is
Yeah. Oh,
fantastic.
the album. Okay.
And it's even
Oh.
one track on there is what's his name, Kevin Costner singing a song.
That's true.
It's his
Oh,
version.
he-
It's an acoustic version of "I Feel the Earth Move," just by Kevin
What are the
Costner.
odds of that?
Yeah, right. So it's basically been on the charts ever since it's been released for over 40 some odd years now.
Oh my
So
goodness.
there's no way to get it off.
Our daughter listens to it.
Yes.
So does
Yeah.
mine.
It's,
Yeah.
So does
I mean,
mine.
like,
It's perfection, yes,
it is
because this
perfection.
is something
It's
that's
true.
ageless and timeless.
Yes.
These songs on here are so well crafted, and
Yeah.
it's such a good album
It's true.
that
Amazing
and
songwriter.
It is. Even men like me and Bello can enjoy this. So even though it was by a woman and it's a woman type of album, that every
Right,
girl
it
back in
is.
1970. 71 actually. Did I tell the date when this was released?
72.
It was
I
no
think
71.
Oh.
71?
February 10th, 1971. So it was just the 38th anniversary,
Oh,
and it was
wow, right.
recently her birthday as well. So
How old is Carole King?
709.
I thought
So I don't know,
75, I think.
Is she?
She was
really?
born.
Yeah.
Well, when we get to her, I'll
She'll
give you
do
the
really
birthday.
good.
Yes. All right. Let's keep on with the album here.
Keep on keeping on.
Where were we now, Cha-Cha? You interrupted me, and now I'm completely
He's
lost.
lost.
What album we doing again? I was talking about
Bodyguard by
how
Whitney
how women loved this in 1971.
Right.
That I actually heard Tom Hanks telling a story that every week after they would go from church after this, they would end up going to the diner, his family, and if he was lucky enough, he got to drive with one of his oldest sisters, and every time you got in that car, Tapestry was playing,
Right.
and it was the best thing.
8-track.
Yeah.
You got the sitting
awesome.
sisters Dodge Dart, listening to
Wow.
Tapestry
Dodge.
on the way to the diner,
That's awesome.
to the
yeah.
Waffle
I like
House,
that.
wherever
Yeah.
he grew up. I don't know. So yes, that was good memories. Like you were in college when this came out, Cha-Cha, and I can imagine you sitting in your dorm, weeping at night, listening to this.
in 1971.
She was 5
I
years
don't even
old.
think she was born.
But I can picture that.
Oh, he can picture
Yeah,
her.
you know,
Oh,
Yeah.
because
If she
I
were
was
of
like,
college
what?
age.
Okay.
yes, if
In
you
her
were,
dorm.
and
With the album.
Absolutely,
or
yes.
every college
Yes.
age girl at
Right.
this time. My
Yeah.
sister
Right.
was a
I was
college
6,
age
but okay.
around
I was
this
9.
time.
Yeah.
So get my sister on the phone. We could talk about her.
Yeah, she would be great. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, let's talk about this album now. The cover. Do you know who took this photo, Stephen? It was an A&M staff photographer. His name was Phil McCracken, and he took this picture right here at Carole's Laurel Canyon house.
Was that his real name?
No, of course not.
Okay.
It was something like that, so I made a joke about it.
Gotcha.
I just got rid of his name. I don't even know what it is. Nobody
I
cares.
love that picture. She looks.
Yeah. So did you know
Yeah.
it shows her sitting on a window frame holding a tapestry that she hand stitched herself, and that's her cat Telemucus at her feet. That's really the name. So that is an iconic picture there. That's what it says. That's the cat's name.
Cat's name is
Yeah.
Telemucus.
Mucus?
All right.
Telemachus.
That's a
Sounds like a
weird
disease.
name.
It's a 70s disease.
I don't know what that means. Yeah. I think they penicillin gets rid of that. So anyway, so do you want to talk about Laurel Canyon now? Because that's the theme that we've been doing each week. And she moved to Laurel Canyon, and she was friends with a lot of these people.
Oh.
Well, let's start. Go back to her early days
Okay.
in Brooklyn, New York,
Oh.
and we're
yeah.
gonna go from there.
My hometown.
Oh, that's cool. I
That
didn't know
yes,
that.
she grew up with Gina
Yes,
and
she-
a lot of famous people in Brooklyn there. That where did I
Well,
put her
she was-
history, Cha-Cha?
I saw it.
All right.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
There
All right,
it is.
so let's start from that point. So King was born Carole Joan Klein in February 1942 in Manhattan to a Jewish family. Her mother, Eugenia,
Oh,
you know why I say
Eugenia.
Eugenia like that with
'Cause that's my
emphasis?
mom's
That's her
name.
mother's name.
Oh, wow.
And
Oh.
never before have we ever heard another person called Eugenia until
No.
this day.
Wow.
it's true.
So that must have been big in Brooklyn because your mother was in Brooklyn as well.
Yes.
So maybe she's actually your half sister and we don't know about it.
Wow.
That your
That's a
mother
Oh, right.
is Carole King's mother
That's the
and
only
your
time-
mother.
Yeah.
Could be.
Eugenia.
No.
What do you mean?
No,
True.
she
How do you
wouldn't
know?
that.
Because I know.
All right. So Eugenia was a teacher and her father, Sidney Klein. Bello, I think we need to take a break. They're out of control.
You can't expect a comment like that to just go by.
Actually do need to take a break. So we're gonna take a break here, play some more music,
My
and then come
sainted
out
mother.
and finish the rest of this Carole King story and the rest of Tapestry. So, you're in for a treat with these songs now. I dug deep into the catalog for this. That, of course, she was a great songwriter as well. And
yes.
So now we're going to do Will You Still Love Me, but not the Carole King version. We're going to do the Amy Winehouse version.
Nice.
If you guys
yeah.
never heard this, you're in for a big treat.
Yes.
It's amazing. And then, of course, Natural Woman by Aretha Franklin. So we'll be right back. Madhouse Magazine Radio Hour 474 The Mix.
Keep an eye on
Hey,
him.
welcome back. Madhouse Magazine Radio Hour. You just heard the two most beautiful songs you ever heard. Will You Still Love Me by Amy Winehouse and Natural Woman by Aretha Franklin. Urethra. I think that's a bad name too. But she was an awesome woman, awesome singer. Two great songs. Which one's your favorite, Bello? Will You Still Love Me or Natural Woman?
Well, The Natural Woman, I got to tell you a quick story. I was watching a documentary about, the guy, the partner of Carole King, the
Jerry
songwriter.
Goffin?
Yes,
Jerry.
right? So he goes, now we're trying to think of what we could say for a natural. You make me feel like what? Like what? I said, I got it. Natural Woman. He was dead serious. I'm like, what the hell is this guy talking about? That was the craziest thing I ever, I got it. Natural Woman. So that makes no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't really. You make
But
me feel
that's-
like a natural woman.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
it doesn't make sense if you think
he
about
was
it.
claiming
What
that.
does
As
that actually
opposed
mean?
to what? Well, it has some meaning today, but not back then.
from the song. Well, it's a
But
good
why
song.
did it mean something to him?
Yeah,
You know what I
right?
mean? It was
Exactly.
very confusing.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
What could I say?
It's
here?
very
I got it. Natural Woman.
So, all right.
So that's just something I remember.
Let's go back to she was born in Manhattan, Jewish family. Eugenia, father Sidney Klein, was a firefighter.
Oh.
And Sidney was a chemistry major, and Eugenia was an English and drama major when they met in an elevator at Brooklyn College in 1936. After Carole was born, they moved to Brooklyn, right next door to Gina. So Carole went to high school with Gina, Barbara Streisand, Neil Diamond,
Erasmus
and
High
Neil
School.
Sedaka.
No.
Wow,
So-
what a class.
And get this, she met Jerry Goffin when they were students at Queens
Right.
College.
Wow.
You know where
You
that
went
is?
there.
That's in Queens.
Queens, I think.
Exactly. So listen to this scandal. By whatever year this was, it doesn't
Yeah.
seem right because it's like late 50s, early 60s
More
when you didn't
scandalous.
think things like this happened, Bello. But she got pregnant at 17. You know how that happened?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm not
She
sure.
made
but-
her feel like a natural woman. And then 9 months later, there's a natural baby with a loaded diaper. See how natural you feel then.
Yeah.
So they ended up having a nice, they got married at a nice Jewish ceremony
who
in
was the
Long
guy?
Island. Jerry Goffin.
Jerry
Oh,
Goffin.
okay.
Yeah.
They did get married.
Yeah.
Wow.
They quit college and took day jobs. Now, you would think this story is destined for a terrible ending,
Right,
doesn't it?
right.
But it turns out pretty good because
Right.
they end up writing songs at nighttime. So listen to these songs that they wrote. They wrote the song Chains that the Beatles later covered because, they were working at one of those song factories, the Brill Building and all that kind of stuff, Don Kirshner, where you sit in an office with a piano and it's just
Right.
like a day job. You're just, all right, we need a song. Yeah, Shay, for the coasters, Shay. All right, da-na-na-na, natural woman.
Yes.
You know, and then
Oh, that's
5 minutes
awesome.
later, they got a
four-chord
song.
specialties.
Exactly. So the song Chains, though, was recorded by the Beatles, who were big fans of these guys.
Wow.
And they wrote I'm Into Something Good, recorded by the Hermits.
Hermits.
And, of course, Bello's favorite song, that Locomotion. Who was that recorded by?
Little Eva.
And what was her job?
She was their babysitter.
Exactly.
I didn't even realize they were married and that was the
But-
babysitter.
Yeah,
Very cool.
it was a little Ava wrote a book, and she said Jerry Goffin used to beat her with a shovel.
Whoa.
I don't know,
Oh,
but he
my
was a
God.
jerk, though. Yeah,
Yeah?
we're gonna get to that too.
Yeah.
We saw that
Oh,
from the play. Maybe Gina, because I
Oh,
forget what it
okay.
was. But they also wrote "Up on the Roof" by the Drifters and
Wow.
Bello's other favorite song, "Pleasant Valley Sunday,"
Yes.
recorded by the Monkees. Because at this time they had moved to the suburbs of New Jersey, and they were living in the suburbs, and they wrote that "Pleasant Valley
Very
Sunday"
nice.
song.
Wow, that's
So,
awesome.
Gina, now, if you can tell us, I forget exactly what he did, but Goffin was a jerk and they ended up getting divorced.
He was cheating on her.
Yeah.
Aha! And didn't he
with
try
the babysitter?
to, like, from the play, I kind of recall very uncomfortable moments when he was trying to get swinging or something involved? Or
Yeah.
wasn't he doing something like that?
Yeah.
He was a real weird, creepy guy. He was
He's a
doing
real-
drugs
Yeah.
because it was the
stay
60s.
out
Got into
all
that whole,
night,
he
yeah.
stayed out all night. He wasn't happy.
Yes.
And then you have like a nervous breakdown or something.
Everyone had them in the
Yeah.
70s.
I forget.
And
He did. Yeah, he was suffering depression or whatever.
he ended up having an affair with one of the
It was
black ladies.
No, it was Don Kirshner
No.
and Little Eva.
Oh, yeah.
That was
It was a threesome. That's a sick one right there.
It was one of the
Yeah.
it was.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I wonder what happened to him. Do we know? Did he die or is he still alive? All right, well,
Yeah, he's gone.
Don't
he's a jerk
know.
anyway. So anyway, they divorced and she moved to Laurel Canyon, California. And you know who she became friends with? James Taylor right away and Joni Mitchell.
Nice.
Wow.
Hey, those are
And
good friends.
Those are
Right.
good friends.
And he convinced her. James Taylor was so instrumental in her career that he convinced her because she had terrible stage fright at this time.
Yeah.
She only wanted to write the songs. She didn't want to perform them, but
That's
he
right.
convinced her. And actually, James Taylor, I think, is really good at that. He should start his own business
Yeah.
because Carly Simon
gonna
has
say,
terrible
yeah.
he brought
stage
them
fright,
all
too.
forward.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love James.
So she came out with her first album, which was a flop. But you know, you need to grow, and they gave you time to grow back then.
Yes,
So
right.
so they were recording. You had to hear this in this studio in Laurel Canyon. I forget what it was. I think it's the A&M studios or whatever. But in Studio A, you had Joni Mitchell recording her classic album Blue. In Studio C was the Carpenters recording their album, and right in the middle, Studio B was Carole King recording Tapestry. So this is all like
Sure.
you walk out and to go to the bathroom. There's Joni
Yeah.
Mitchell hanging out
all
with
the
Karen Carpenter.
all the greats in one
Yeah.
studio.
Yes, so it was amazing stuff. And do you know who sang background vocals on this? I'm going to give you a name, and if anyone can tell me what her claim to fame is, they win $5 cash,
$5.
money,
Ooh.
USD. Her name is Mary Clayton. Yes, exactly. She is the one singing with Mick Jagger on Gimme Shelter.
Really?
Those amazing vocals.
Wow.
That is Mary Clayton.
Oh, wow.
Yes, not Mary.
Wow.
Her name is Mary, like in
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Mary.
Wow.
Yes. So there you have it. So
Good stuff.
yeah. So let's what else did I want to talk about here? So Tapestry, great album. Let's name the songs off of here. Are you ready? I Feel the Earth Move. So Far Away. Another great song. It's Too Late. Amazing song. Home Again. Beautiful is a great song. Way Over Yonder is a nice gospel type song. You've Got a Friend, which many people have called the most perfect pop song ever written. And James Taylor went crazy when he heard that too. He said,
Yes.
I'm taking that song. That's like one of the best songs. And then he said he remembers the first time he heard it, and he never imagined that every day for the rest of his life he'd have to sing that song. But
Careful
yeah,
what you like. Be
Exactly.
careful what you wish
he
for.
had a huge hit with that, of course, and he's another one. James Taylor is like the male Karen Carpenter as well. His voice is so smooth.
He's wonderful.
Love his voice as well. So, anyway, the mother's name was Eugenia. Oh wait, we already did.
No,
that.
come you down here.
So funny.
so,
Glasses on. There.
Yes, right.
so, yes, did I just name the songs?
Yeah,
Oh no, I
yeah.
didn't finish
No,
yet.
yeah.
Well, You've Got a Friend. Where You Lead, I Will Follow. For some reason, I like that song a lot. Will You Love Me Tomorrow? Smackwater Jack. Tapestry, which to me is the least great song on the album. I don't know why she would name it Tapestry then.
It's a great name for an album.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And she had this tapestry, so she said,
Yeah.
all right, it works
Yeah.
out good. And, of course, Natural Woman. Now, that is a perfect album. That is the
Good stuff.
greatest hits for anyone
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
song after song is amazing. And that she really didn't have to do anything after this. She did go on to do more things, but still,
yeah.
this is her claim to fame. And that she was married 4 times. Did you know
Wow.
that?
Yes.
And one of the husbands, I actually wrote his name down so we could call him out here, that he was a big jerk as well.
Rick
Rick
Evans?
Evers. And he abused her regularly, and he ended up dying of a cocaine overdose in
Wow.
1978
Imagine
Wow.
that, being abused.
by someone named Rick.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
what
I
his
don't know.
name.
But that's like the same story as Tina Turner, Ike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That he
No,
OD'd.
I
See,
just don't-
that's what's going to happen. If you abuse your woman, you're going to end up dying of cocaine overdose.
Yeah, don't you forget it.
Yep. Carole King's not Italian.
That there's something to
He's
that.
back to that.
Anyway, did you know, Gina, in 1973, she performed a free concert in Central Park where 100,000 people attended.
Wow.
I never knew about that.
I never
know
knew
that.
I
that.
heard about all these other free
Central
concerts.
Yeah,
I never knew
There
she
was
did
like
a freebie
concerts
there.
every weekend.
Garfunkel
Yeah.
and stuff. Wow, I never heard of that.
In the
one
70s,
either.
apparently, every week there was a free concert in Central Park, and I didn't know anything about it.
love to
Yes,
see
well,
that.
you were,
You were a baby.
Still, I should know these things.
Again, we were,
I'm going to have a word with Mayor
Jen.
Beam, Abe Beam.
Yes.
Good luck with that.
So anyway, this is a fact that Gina might know, or Bello. Cha-Cha, I know you know this. In 1975, Carole King appeared on the Mary Tyler Moore Show,
Wow.
credited under her married name, Carol Larkey,
Yes.
on an episode, Anyone Who Hates Kids and Dogs. And like we remember seeing that.
Yes.
We're like, why is she there? This
Yeah.
was way after Tapestry.
Mary Tyler Moore.
Yeah.
Maybe
Oh my
she just
God!
loved
I
the
have to,
show or
I have to
something.
look this up.
Can
Yeah.
you remember the episode? It was like what her fiance or something. Oh yeah, didn't she like go to the house of her ex-fiancés getting married again or something? It was something really awkward. All right, you
This is Mary
I don't
let
know.
me down. Yeah, Mary Tyler
No,
Moore.
I
I have
don't
to look it
remember.
up.
You let me
I have
down.
to look
Was
it
she
up.
playing
Sorry.
piano and stuff?
No,
or-
she's just
No,
like an
she
extra.
just acted.
She
Wow,
didn't really
that's
even have
kinda
any
weird. Wow.
lines.
She
She had no
I
lines.
think
Just loved
she
the show.
was going to the house of her boyfriend, her current boyfriend, and she wasn't it?
Nope.
hi-
All right.
yeah,
We'll have to have an
Did it have anything
addendum
to
to
do with
this.
Carlton the
Okay.
doorman?
Yeah.
Was-
Yes.
No.
It was-
And at the end of the
but I do
episode,
remember.
he died of a cocaine overdose. That's all I
There we
remember.
go.
So
Doesn't
That's
everybody?
everything comes around, goes around. So there you have it. So anyway, that was it.
Think about that
She was married,
episode.
like I said, married 4 times. She has 4 kids and 4 grandchildren.
Oh,
Isn't that amazing?
yeah. 4
We
and
should play
4.
that in the lottery. And do you know where she lives now? I was very surprised to hear that. She has a ranch or a farm in Idaho.
Wow.
So I don't even know where that is.
Idaho.
It's like
Boise.
Why would you go
Midwest.
to Idaho?
She wanted a ranch or a farm or
I
something
guess
away
you can go
from
to
the
Montana.
right. She's lived all over. She was in Brooklyn,
She's
New
li-
Jersey,
Maybe that's
California,
why,
and then
you know.
Idaho.
Yeah.
She was
did the big
searching
city
for something.
did,
thing,
yeah.
you know.
Exactly. I
She
would
probably
like-
did Manhattan at one point.
I would like
Yeah.
a farm in Idaho, I think.
No.
So anyway, she has this play out now, Broadway,
Yes.
the musical, and we saw it. Gina saw it
Yeah.
many times as well. And I forget what it's about, but it was awesome. I absolutely.
But, really?
But
So
it was
it-
awesome.
And
But
I
it was-
remember
That's the
that,
best line.
Carol. I remember that episode
What?
of Mary Tyler Moore.
Wow.
Yes,
Do?
I
I
absolutely do
don't.
because it was the
You
episode
can't tell
where
me what
she
it's about.
was dating. Mary was dating a guy who had kids, a kid.
Okay.
And Mary didn't really like kids. So she goes to the birthday party. And that's where it was.
Ah.
And Carole
Right.
King was
Yeah.
there.
I'm gonna have to.
Wow.
Because it was
But-
entitled
Bring it up on
Anyone Who
YouTube.
Hates Kids and
Right,
Dogs.
right.
All right, so that's it.
How
that
can
with
the
you
clown?
hate
No, that was the-
Bobby?
Flopsy Mopsy.
Yeah,
That was a whole different show. We're talking about Mary Tyler.
Did you ever hear my Ted Baxter impression?
No, let's hear
Oh,
this.
this is good. Mare, Lou. That's him saying hello. Mare, Lou. He was the
great.
best. Ted
Yeah,
Baxter.
that was
Come
a
on.
good show, too. So,
Wait, Dan, you know what I ask you about that? You know Beautiful and what's her name sung it?
what?
You are beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah, what
I know
about
that
it?
song.
She wrote that many, many years ago, or did she write that?
That's a different song.
Oh, it's
Are you
not.
talking about the Mariah Carey song?
No, what's that girl with the blonde hair who's on The Voice, right? So she sings that song Beautiful.
Yeah,
And I
the
think
one he's
Carole
singing, it's a
King-
different one.
That's the Mariah Carey one, I think.
I thought Carole King wrote that song. I
No.
was like,
No.
when did she write that? In the now or
This was off of Tapestry, and Gina, sing that version for her. Gotta get up every morning.
with a smile on your face and tell the world
There you
all
go.
the love in your heart. Right?
That's the one.
That's
That's
awesome.
the
one-
one.
Oh, so
one-
that's what
Gonna
that
make
play
it
is based
better.
on. That's nice.
Yeah, they just had to pick a
See,
song.
you
It could have
never
been called
let Gina
Tapestry.
sing. Gina should sing more.
Just
Oh, yeah.
randomly on the show.
Yes.
the best.
All right, sure.
I'll break out in song. I'll bring
you
my
and
tap
Bello
shoes.
can do Shallow.
Oh, let's do a duet.
Yes.
Bello's wife will be driving down here. You ain't no actor.
She got
Italian.
nothing to worry about.
You don't know.
He's cute.
All right. So, yeah, I wanted to talk about some awards here because she did that along with being selected Album of the Year. It also received Grammys for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance, Record of the Year, It's Too Late, and Song of the Year. What's the difference between Record of the Year and Song of the Year? Because it's not album, Record of the Year for It's Too Late, Song of the Year for You've Got a Friend.
Maybe front and back.
Different category. Yeah, that's a weird category.
Are you making? Yeah,
No, I'm not making that up.
Sure.
Serious.
He
You
did
always
his
heard those
research.
things. Album of the Year, Record of the Year,
Yeah.
Song of the Year.
45 of the
Yeah.
year.
Maybe,
LP of the
yeah.
year. Yeah, that's right.
Maybe it was the Maybe it was the
Key grip of the year.
Single.
All right, so this made King the first solo female artist to win the Grammy Award for Record of the Year.
Awesome.
And the first woman to win the Grammy Award for Song of the Year. So,
Hey.
like I said, the album remained on the Billboard charts for 313 weeks.
That's
second
incredible.
only
That's
to
sick.
second only to another album released in 1973. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Was on the charts for 724 weeks. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the
Dark
Moon.
Side.
724.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's a lot.
Wow.
That's years.
That's like
and
a
years
year.
And years.
That's like a year, isn't
Wow,
it?
I didn't realize
Well, there's
that.
only 52 weeks in a year. So
That's 57 years, actually. So there you
crazy.
have it.
So from that album, she never had to work again. Just from that
Of
one
course.
album.
And
That's
because
amazing.
everyone, because she took time off. You didn't hear much after
No.
that. She
Right.
No,
took
you
time
didn't.
off
Well,
to
right, she-
raise her children.
Yeah.
And
Right.
try
And
to
marry
be
people.
suburb.
I think she
yeah.
only had
Yeah.
one child.
No, I just said 444.
4.
For marriages for children?
Four
And
grandchildren.
And 4
Oh,
grandchildren.
See the pattern?
Yeah.
She got
Yeah.
4 of everything.
Four,
She's
okay.
got 4 pairs of shoes, and she
Yeah,
got
I have
4.
4 pairs of
She won
pants.
4 Grammys.
Right.
Wow, significant.
She named her
Numerology.
her
at work.
4th daughter 4. So anyway,
Should we smell the album?
yes, let's smell the album now. This one is.
Definitely
I actually
smelly.
pre-smelled it. Is this a
Pre-smell.
RM album?
What does that mean on him?
RM.
an
My brother
RM.
put his initials.
Oh.
on it,
RM.
So yeah.
I don't see it.
I don't see it. I erased some of them, but anyway, this is original
Oh, is
as
that
you
how
can
he,
get.
he
Might
kept
have
his
been your
belongings?
sister.
RM?
Yes.
Look how cute
So-
she is in that picture. I
Yes.
love that picture.
If
Sweaty
you open
pants.
this up, see all these pictures, and this album's been through the mill. There's cat pee on here, rat pee over
God.
the years.
Nice.
Oh, we gotta
That-
smell it.
That's
It
not true.
smells so good. You can't imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a cool chick back then,
She
too.
was because
back
she
in
wasn't
1971.
attractive.
She wasn't a beauty, but hey, you're all right.
Yeah.
And her voice, it's not
Made her beautiful.
wasn't really a classical great voice as like your Aretha Franklin, but it was distinct.
Stop
And
calling her that.
her voice was so good. I was listening to her sing today, and I was like, oh, I just love that song. It's so unique, and just I like her. I like that
But
character.
her
You like
piano
her?
playing is awesome.
I like her.
Yeah.
I like her a
just-
lot.
Yeah.
She's a great piano
Just
player.
her syncopation,
You like
just
that,
her,
huh?
her
Yes.
writings, everything.
Billy Madison? Is that what
Everything about her.
Yeah.
Hey,
A lot.
we're having 2 shows here.
Sorry.
Me and Gina having a serious show.
Yeah.
You and
You
Bello
didn't give me the props I
acting
deserve.
like
That's
buffoons.
it.
All right, I got to smell the album. Get
Just
ready.
do it.
I'm going on record saying this is the best smelling album of the year.
Of the year, best smelling.
No, of
Best
all
selling.
time. The best smelling album of all time, Bello.
Wow, that is
Oh my
good stuff.
See? Cha-Cha, would you agree with that?
Oh yeah.
Best smelling album of all
Oh,
time?
That's unbelievable.
Smelliest album.
Give it to Bello.
Bello, you're
Yeah.
going to enjoy
Oh,
this.
Lord.
Telemucus.
Tell him you could.
I can't believe she
Isn't
didn't
that
write
good?
the song.
That is pretty good.
Yeah, so there you have it.
Smell the food
Everything you
along.
ever wanted to know about Carole King and Tapestry, 1971. It was a
Learned a
good
lot of good
year.
stuff. That's
Remember it
cool.
well. I was in like 2nd grade or something like that. And that was the year I pulled the fire alarm and broke it. And then the next day, the school burnt to the ground. I don't know how he makes stupid things up like this.
this.
What a mind.
None of,
didn't break that,
none of that actually
the school would
happened.
have been fun.
Yes. Why would that pop into my head right now? I don't know. But it
Dissect
did.
This is
when
why
he's
I
gone.
need. Yeah.
So anyway, here's another fact I'm going to get to that. All right, so we're going to wrap this show up. Oh, Bello, you got another joke to take us
Oh,
out
yes.
with?
Yeah, I got a great one. I found this out the other day. Love Me Do, the song by John Lennon,
Yeah.
was actually written after he got a very nice haircut.
Get
Love
it?
Me Do.
Because he's British.
Love Me Do.
All right, there you go.
That's not
so,
true.
Good job.
Anyway, we're
need a
wrapping this
symbol.
show up now. Another excellent show. I love doing the shows with you guys.
Good
so
stuff. Good
we're going to
fun.
go out doing You've Got a Friend, the James Taylor version. And you know why I don't play all the songs off of this album? Did I ever tell you that? Because contractually, I'm not allowed to. That the
Right.
radio station will not allow you to play. The license says you cannot play an entire album. So that's why I play different versions. I would like to just play all
Because
of them.
I
but-
do like James Taylor's version,
Right.
but Carole King's
Okay.
is the best.
And then we're going to go out with the song Jazz Man, which is not even on this album.
One of my
But
favorites.
that's an awesome. Now,
an
there's a.
Great sax solo.
I did not write it down here,
Wow.
but did you know who co-wrote that song with her? The guy's name is David Porter, I believe, who was in Steely Dan, and he sang lead on the song Dirty Work.
Wow.
He was in
Oh,
Steely
okay.
Dan after,
Wasn't everybody?
Yeah.
well, not really, because Steely Dan had like 5 main guys after the first album or so. They
Oh.
said, we're not touring anymore, so you can all leave and go write a song with Carole King if you want. It's just
Okay.
going to be us two. So that's what he did.
Wow.
And he was never heard from again after that. So we don't know what happened to him. But anyway, it was a great song, Jazz Man. One of my favorite versions is from The Simpsons when Lisa sings this. 'Cause she was a big sax player.
Yes, she loves jazz.
Take my blues away.
Yeah, so there you have
Great
it.
song.
That's
That
it.
is a great
We're
song.
going
Good
to play
stuff,
the Artist of the Month after that, and that is it. So let's hear it for us, Carole King
Yeah.
and Tapestry. See you next time. Madhouse Magazine Radio Hour, madhousemagazine.com, 474 The Mix.
Awesome.